Welcome to Veteran Resource Podcast, where you will meet nonprofit organizations focused on improving the lives of veterans and their family members. Here is your host, Jeremy Paris.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 64 of the Veteran Resource Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Paris. In today's audio blog, we're going to be talking about finding your passion and going after it. Beep, beep, snooze. Beep, beep, snooze. Beep, beep, slam. Fine, I'll get up. Drag a foot out of bed, followed slowly by the other as you force yourself into a sitting position. Maybe grab your phone and immediately start scrolling through social media posts. Just trying to find something that catches your eye enough to wake up. There's a bit of mumbling going on as you make your first cup of coffee. Does this morning routine sound familiar to you? It does to me. This is the way I woke up for many years. During that time, there would be occasional days where my morning routine was completely different. The alarm clock would be set for 6 a.m. and I'd wake up around 5:55. I'd throw the covers off and I would practically leap out of bed. I'd reach for my phone, but not to scroll through social media this time, just to deactivate the alarm that was set to go off in a few minutes. I'd still make that first cup of coffee because coffee. But as I made it, I might be dancing and humming a song in my head, doing something like that. Why did I wake up a few mornings happy while the rest of the time I woke up absolutely miserable? The difference was that on these mornings, I was on vacation, or I was going hiking, or I had a film shoot that day. The difference was, in a word, passion. Back then, I was working in a great job. In fact, doing what I was doing and making what I was making, many people would have killed to take my place. But for me, my passion was elsewhere. So I woke up miserable. I had this recurring thought in my head during my 8 hours of work that I would die someday of old age while looking back on my sad life and thinking about all the things that my life could have been. My morning routine is so different now. I wake up excited for what the day will bring. I grab my cup of coffee and I write in my journal, starting with what I am grateful for that day. I plan out all of the things that I am going to accomplish for the day, and then I'm off to the races. Between working on the Veteran Resource Podcast and Podcast Playground, my day will sometimes be longer than 8 hours. But because it's my passion, it doesn't feel like I'm even working. Think about it. If you are having fun on vacation and that fun lasted longer than the 8 hours that you had planned for it to be, would you be bummed out? Hell no. Many of you out there are not living a life of passion. You hear this and it is resonating with you right now. So I want you to do an exercise with me. If you are driving or running or otherwise occupied, then do this exercise once you get the opportunity. I want you to sit down and I want you to get comfortable. Now I want you to imagine that there are no obstacles in your way. Money, time, and possibilities are abundant. Stretch your brain now. Start thinking, what is it that I'm passionate about? What fills you with happiness? What is that thing that if you could do it every day, you would? If this thing was in your life, you would fly out of bed in the morning, excited to start working on it again. Is it fishing? Is it hiking? Is it a sport? Is it building a business? Maybe living on a boat? Is it working for a tech company like Microsoft? Or maybe it's working in politics. Remember, there are no obstacles in your way. Stretch that brain of yours. Now that you have your passion identified, let's come back to reality for a second. Here in reality, there are obstacles, right? But these obstacles are usually not as big as you make them out to be. Let's take woodworking, for example. If your passion was woodworking, you might tell me that your obstacles are, I have to keep working my job as a cell phone salesman because I need the money to support my family. And I don't have the equipment that I need to do the woodworking. And also, I don't have the space in my apartment to do the woodworking. Yep, you're right. Those are obstacles. But if you let them prevent you from following your passion, then they're excuses. Let me say that again. If you allow these things to prevent you from following your passion, then they are excuses. Maybe for now you start a blog on woodworking. You write articles every week providing value to your readers who are also passionate about woodworking. You could do this for free on medium.com or other places without even needing to set up a website. So that's not an excuse for you either. You could jump into Facebook groups or into in-person meetup groups or into LinkedIn groups that have other woodworkers in it. You could find a nonprofit like the Veteran Artist Program and join their online community. Once you start to network with these other woodworkers, you could start interviewing them to learn new techniques while posting the interviews in your blog so that others can learn as well. While networking with your new passionate fans and friends, you will more than likely find opportunities and invitations to go and work on projects at someone else's home or shop. This could unfold in any direction from this point forward. You could end up being offered a job doing woodworking that pays you what you're currently making at your current job. An opportunity to move to a new place that has the space for woodworking could happen. You could end up creating an in-person or online course to teach woodworking skills to others who are just getting into it. The possibilities are endless. My point is that if you let your obstacles be excuses, then you will keep doing what you are doing and living a mediocre life. If instead, you go after your passion, even taking small steps in the direction of what you want out of life, then opportunities are going to start to come to you. Stop smashing that snooze bar every morning. Find your passion and go after it, starting today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please jump into the Veteran Resource Podcast online community and comment on the post for this episode. I'd love to hear what your passion is. You can find the community by going to veteranresourcepodcast.com/community. I do a lot of networking, so maybe I could even point you in the right direction. None of us are an island. Let's all help each other out. That is all I have for you today. I hope you have an incredible and inspiring weekend, and I hope that we all start following our passion. And I will see you next week for episode 65.